It was the first of many brainstorming meetings with stakeholders on how to handle medicinal marijuana on Guam. The legislative submitted referendum passed with over 19,000 votes during the general election. The Guam Economic Development Authority has taken the lead on formulating an economic assessment regarding costs of implementation, potential revenue, and impact on respective organizations. GIDA's Commerce and Economic Division Manager, Sheena Black.
So with the economic impact statement, we're hoping that we're not only looking at this from a public health perspective, but also the fiscal and the economic perspective. So what is a distillery cost? What are the operations costs? What is the cost of enforcement and compliance? And trying to make sure that we provide public health with all of that information when they're doing their analysis.
Black says what GIDA has researched so far is what the 24 states who currently allow for medicinal marijuana have been doing and what kind of metrics they have.
So if there's the price that the marijuana is going for, or if caregivers are the ones responsible for this, or if it's going through a distillery, there's a lot of information out there. So our intent is to be very particular and systematic about which indicators that we're using so we don't get overwhelmed with all of the literature that is out there.
Public Health Director James Gillen says he's in contact with the Arizona Department of Health Services on their experience with implementing medicinal marijuana.
My colleague in Arizona is willing to give us all sorts of assistance. He even has source code that he could give us for actually the making of the ID cards, which have to be pretty tamper-proof.
He says Arizona has been able to generate $7 million in excess revenue for other health programs. In the meantime, Phil Tyron from Guam Customs and Quarantine was one of a dozen stakeholders at today's meeting.
So long as it involves some type of import at the border of seeds or devices and apparatus, then we might have a concern, not necessarily us, but our federal counterparts.
Other stakeholders included representatives from the Guam Fire Department, the Department of Agriculture, and the governor's office. The measure, we should note, is not enacted until 90 days after certification by the GEC, in which Public Health has 9 months to promulgate rules and regulations and form an advisory board thereafter. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintaniza.